Hey guys, Zach here, and this is going to be a quick video on the new quote that I've just released out, and it is, you do not need to protect yourself, you just need to trust yourself and love yourself. So let me define this a little bit more for you so you can take it and use it in everyday reality. I believe most of us, most people in this world are protecting themselves. They're protecting their personality, they're protecting themselves, they're not expressing themselves, they're not stepping out of their comfort zone, they're keeping themselves safe so they don't get hurt. They're keeping themselves in their comfort zone and they keep their patterns from everyday life and they never experience anything. If anything uncertain happens, they start freaking out and then they try to find that certainty everywhere. And I want to give you what I'm going to go over today is we're all protecting ourselves at some level. I used to do it all the time. All through high school and most of my life, I didn't like stepping out of my comfort zone. I remember I did this piano. I used to play piano, and I went out on the stage, and I was really feeling anxious. I didn't want to do this. I was playing keyboard at my house, and then my cousin's like, "Hey, let's go on stage," and I started freaking out inside. And I remember the time before it, and I'm like, "I don't know how I can do this." And I went out there, and I hated every moment of it. I remembered I hated every moment. I went out there and played it, but I hated it inside my head because I was protecting myself. I was thinking that people in the crowd were judging me. I thought people in the crowd were looking at me saying, this guy sucks and this thing. And I had all this negative crap that I was saying to myself. But that was a negative feeling that I was feeling inside. That was me abusing myself. And it wasn't until, years and years of, times where I was protecting myself. I used to go out at times and I wouldn't express myself completely. So I put on my fake ego to put on this fake projection of myself, being like this dude that, thinks he's so good. But inside I was hurting. Inside I was in pain. Inside I was protecting myself. I was protecting who I really was because I didn't think anyone would like who I really was. Have you ever felt like that? Like sometimes if I really express who I am, how do I know people are really going to like me? And I used to get caught up in that every single day, and that's what caused depression for me. That was the one thing that caused depression. I remember one time it caused me so much depression that one time I had a panic attack and I didn't know what to do. I was struggling and I was protecting myself. And the only reason I felt like that and I felt depressed because I was holding in pain inside. I couldn't express who I really was because I think everyone was judging me, but no one cared. When I look back on it now, if I could grab my person in school, I would just say, you don't need to protect yourself. You don't need to protect yourself. You just need to trust yourself and love yourself. And this is a really emotional topic for me because it's the biggest breakthrough of my life. One of my biggest breakthroughs in my life was trusting my dreams, trusting who I was, trusting what I believe in, going for it 100%, and being able to love myself in the journey of it. The hardest thing for them to do is to love themselves. It's really hard for so many people to love themselves, and I see it every single day. They're trying to become successful, so once I become successful, then people will start to love me. It's fake. If I just make more money, then I can start loving myself. It's all fake. It's until you can start doing a ritual every day to say, I love being me. I don't need to prove anything to anyone. I don't need to do anything to anyone. I just love being me every day. If you can get to that place of pure love within yourself, that authenticity within yourself, I promise you your life will change. And that's the biggest message that I want to give, and that's what I'm passionate about giving every single business owner, every single person, at every single seminar. I will always go over the power of self-love. And it's so overused. Just love yourself, just love yourself. But it takes courage to love yourself. It takes courage to look at yourself in the mirror and say, I love you. And I used to hate doing it. And every single time I get someone that's really struggling to love themselves, I grab that person and take them in the mirror or get them to close their eyes and tell themselves they love themselves. And why all of a sudden does emotion start pouring out of them? Because people don't fully love themselves. People aren't loving to themselves. I see it all the time. And I want to ask you, if you're out there and you're not loving yourself, you're not doing rituals on yourself, you're not taking care of yourself, and you're beating yourself up, you're using the car inside your head, you're going into your own car inside your head and putting on negative music, and that negative music's tearing you and tearing you fully down. If I was in a car that had music that was saying, you suck, I hate you, I would turn it off. I would put on, I love you, I love this about you, I love this about you. And that's what it takes for you to truly love yourself. So my one message right now is you don't need to protect yourself. Whatever you need to do in your life, whether that's the dream, I don't want you to have limits on yourself, because I'm a true believer in whatever you envision in your life, you can manifest it in the physical world. If you see it every day, you can manifest it. But the only way you're going to manifest it is if you don't protect yourself. This is coming from the heart right now. I don't want you to protect yourself anymore, because that outside world's just going to be what it is. And you're here for what? 0 to 80 years to 100 years, sometimes 50 years, sometimes 40 years, sometimes 20 years for some people. And you don't know how long you're going to live for. So I want you to live it up and stop protecting yourself, because on your deathbed, you're not going to remember, I did this, I did this. You're going to remember experiences, magic moments, times in your life where you broke through, times in your life where you loved other people, times in your life where you loved yourself. And if you can get to that frame, I promise you, if you just stop protecting yourself and do two things, trust yourself and love yourself. You don't need to get trust from other people. You just need to trust yourself. And your destination will flow to you if you can trust yourself. So just trust yourself and love yourself and stop protecting yourself. Have an amazing day. Hope this message hit home. And you're a phenomenal person. Boom.